Ain't this what they been waiting for? You ready?
Hi, good evening, you guys. Welcome to Fabulous Frequency Podcast with Divine and
Diva.
good evening, good evening, good evening. Tonight we will be discussing a couple topics, such as the first topic that we'll be discussing, and it's going to have a few branch offs, that is to submit or not to submit. Dun, dun, dun.
That is the question.
That is the question. And for the latter part of the conversation, we're going to add in hyper independence. So yeah, what you think? What you think, friend? Submit or not to submit?
Well, that's subjective because, for one, who are you submitting to? Are they worthy of being submitted to? And once you submit, are you going to be safe?
So you said a lot. Are you going to be safe? So there are multiple things that factor into the so-called submission. Because this submission thing is a new thing for us. In ancient times, we didn't do this submission thing. We ruled in unison or under the matriarchy. So this submission thing is a fairly new concept over the last few hundred years. That there are multiple factors to consider. For one, if you are already independent and living on your own and fully capable of facilitating and meeting all of your own needs, um, just adding someone else in there who cannot do those things for themselves or who has not done those things for themselves, does that alter or jeopardize what you've established? My mom used to say, don't fool with nobody that don't have as much to lose as you do. She still says it. So, in that measure, do you think that that is one of the factors that deters women from submitting?
Well, I saw a post on Facebook the other day that said, "Why are Black women the only race that think that submission has to be earned?" And I said to myself, like, why are we the only race that's put in that category to where it's a problem for us to feel like that does have to be earned? Because it requires trust. You have to show me some type of security. You have to show me some type of leadership skills. And you have to make me feel safe enough to where I feel like, yes, I can trust this person with my life, and I don't mind in a theoretical sense bowing down to this person. And if I'm not able to do something, they're able to do it for me, and vice versa, because it's actually a two-way street, and most people don't realize that. If the woman submits to the man, then the man also has to submit to the woman, and a lot of people don't get that. And when I say submit to the woman, I don't mean like bow down or relinquish their power, but in a sense to where you should be equally yoked. If there's a situation where the woman recognizes that whatever is going on can be detrimental or cannot is not for the greater good of the relationship, that woman is also supposed to have enough sense, enough guidance to be able to tell her mate, hey, that's not a good idea. We should do it like this. And the man should have enough sense to say, you know what, that makes sense, instead of it all being a one-way street.
So I think with the equally yoked thing, I think people take that out of context because I think that what you were describing is equally yoked. I think equally yoked means I can lead you and you can lead me. I can listen to you and you can listen to me because if I got all the sense in the world and you don't and you're lacking and then you still don't listen, that's bad. If I have everything and you don't have everything and then you can't listen to me, that's bad because clearly I have more wisdom on some information than you do. You should be able to listen to me and vice versa. You know what I mean? I have friends that have asked me about stuff in their marriage, and I had to tell her, girl, you messed the money up. Girl, you blowing your husband money. He should have this, 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 and this. If you think about what he makes, and you spend too much. I've done that, but I'm not gonna excuse people from their um responsibility, from their duty. When you're in a relationship, you have a duty to communicate and compromise with each other, one to another, not one person be under submission. And that's why I think that the submission whole deal is a tool of the patriarchy and is furthermore a tool of continued slavery. Because why can't we be partners? What do you mean? I'm an adult. I have a mind. I have brain cells that function
Mm,
on my own. I can think for myself. Why do I
correct.
have to downgrade my functioning so that you can feel better as a human? Why do I have to
Ooh,
not be as smart as I am? Why do I not have to be as successful? Why would I have to end my life? Why should I have to put down my career or not do as much or don't shine so bright, baby? Because I want to shine a little bit too. No. So I think when we talk about equally yoked and quote unquote submission, I think when you have a true partnership with someone who really values you, those things don't even come into play because you're gonna number one, love and support each other, and number two, you're gonna fill in the gaps. You're gonna when something's going on, maybe he has more wisdom in this area. Maybe you're gonna put your car in the shop and he knows some things, and he's like, "Baby, I think it's this," and you may think it's that, but you know, would you consider listening to him and getting a second opinion? And the same thing with a woman. If a man is having a business deal and your woman might be a little smarter than you, would it not take you? Would it make you less of a man to stop for a minute and consider what she's saying and think it over so that you will come out better on the end? Because it's not like the person you're talking to doesn't love you. They should want your best interest. You know what I'm saying? So. I just think, when we say equally yoked, I think people whoop people with that. Well, we not equally yoked. Yeah, and a lot of times it's not. You with somebody that's hard-headed, they don't listen to you, you know what I'm saying? They full of themselves, or vice versa. And that could be for men and women, you know what I'm saying? I'm not bashing what I'm saying. It could be for men or women. We know some women that are full of themselves and stubborn and can't be told anything. So, um, yeah, I think we should. We should look at that equally yoked as being able to talk to each other and receive from each other.
right. And to piggyback off of what you said, as far as one person may be knowledgeable in the area where you're weak at, there's not a big deal because if you know something about this area that will help me or further me, I should be able to be agreeable enough to sit and listen to you and get the knowledge without being offended or feeling less than or feeling like you're trying to control me and vice versa. And that also comes in with communication. Like you said, we have to first communicate with each other what is expected of us and what we consider to be the rules of engagement. A lot of people don't talk about, well, what do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? And then wherever we don't agree, there has to be some type of middle ground that's met. Sometimes you have to compromise. You're not going to always be able to get it your full way. Sometimes you have to say, well, look, I don't really like this part of it. You don't really agree with this part, but how about we do it like this? And then both parties can say, you know what, agreed. We're going to handle it like that. And that looks different for each relationship. And that's what a lot of people don't get. What works for my relationship might not work for your relationship because it involves different people. And when you start trying to relationship goals, your relationship, you start putting yourself in a box and you start expecting someone else out of your person. And you have to get to know your person to begin with so that there's no misunderstanding about what their expectations are and what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. But we're going to hold that thought. We're going to take our first break and we'll be right back with To Submit or Not to Submit on Fabulous Frequency Podcast.
This is your boy Jalen here on another episode of Elevated Minds. And today's episode is going to be called When a Man Must Submit to His Woman. Because here's the thing, we always hear all this stuff about all over the internet. Oh, these women don't want to be submissive. All these men, oh yeah, these women are too hard. They're this or that, pointing all these fingers. At the end of the day, do you know that submitting goes both ways? When you're married, when you're in a relationship, you have to submit to each other. It's not just what the man says goes. No, you're not always going to be right. Your lady is your partner. You're not above her. Just because you're the leader doesn't mean that you're above her. Do you know what a leader does? What an actual leader does, they lead by example, but they're not pointing fingers like, oh yeah, you need to do this. You're not like an authoritarian boss. Like, that's not what it is. A leader is someone that's going to work with the other person. You're becoming a partner. So
And we're back. If you're just tuning in, the topic is to submit or not to submit. And before we get back on that topic, we want to check in with you guys. We're gonna do a frequency check. We're trying to test and see how you're feeling. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm in a positive note. Like, we had some really bad weather, and I've been stuck in the house for about 6 days, and this is one of my first days really getting out. So I must say that I am elated that that's all over. What about you, Divine? How you
I'm
feeling?
feeling fabulous because you know that was driving me crazy to be stuck in the house like that. By day four, I was like, ah.
Cabin fever.
Yes, girl, I was begging for a Walmart trip somewhere, and then when gave them people my money, it felt like it real fast. Like, I got to buy something. It wasn't bad. I went to the supermarket and bought some healthy options. And you know, one thing we're gonna talk about one day is, excuse me, when you go on a diet in your house and you start eating healthily, and it's like the other people that's not on a diet or don't need to go on a diet, they eat your food. And it's like, why are you eating my food? Why are you eating my wraps? Stop eating my stuff. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, I was going stir crazy from that lock in. So I'm very glad to be out amongst the people. We need each other, y'all.
So yeah, if you're looking at us live and you're able to comment, let us know how you're feeling. We talk back. But back on the subject of to submit or not to submit. I don't know if you saw the clip where the man was talking about, like, what we both me and Divine said, it's a two-way street. And a lot of men do not realize this. They feel like they are supposed to be the authoritarian in the relationship. Like, there's no room for any type of conversation where you listen to me, I listen to you, we decide what's the best path to take, not just I said that, that's what goes, like you're the parent and I'm the child. And that causes a lot of conflict when you're an independent person naturally. If you're if you come from a background to where you've been thriving and striving on your own for years, and then all of a sudden you meet this person and you combine resources, sometimes it's a big adjustment. You have to adjust to, okay, I don't have to do everything by myself anymore. Versus if you take on someone who is more of a dependent, it becomes a big headache because now you're like, it's like you acquired a whole nother
Kid,
struggle, like a bill.
yeah. So what I was gonna add too is before the break, but I like that you segued into it. You also, before you get to building and all that with someone and you get to commingling and cohabitating, make sure you have someone who is responsible and self-aware and self-reflective. There is no point in doing all this with someone who cannot take accountability because their ego is too fragile and too shallow and very immature. So
Mm,
and it doesn't matter their age because if they have a lack of ability to self-reflect and be aware and say, hey, I did this, I should have done this, I need to do this to fix it, this will never happen again. If they can't be accountable for themselves, with themselves, for their behaviors, then you're also dealing with someone who is a perpetual child and they will never, ever, ever take responsibility. Everything in the entire relationship will be your fault. And every attempt to communicate will be called an argument because they
mm.
don't have proper communication skills.
Correct. And nobody wants to be in a relationship where every conversation turns into a battle of the wits. It's not always about being right sometimes. Sometimes it's about what is best for the relationship. And us going back and forth trying to exert power over each other creates a power struggle. And most men are always going to resist a power struggle. And if you're a strong woman, you're going to resist a power struggle because, like, if you're capable of doing things on your own, why should I listen to you? And I know I have a better way of doing things. Or if this is something that I've been doing, this method has been
Right.
working for me for years, why do I have to change what I'm doing to suit your ego when clearly it's the better way?
So
But rather
so
than you say, hey,
right.
look, You're right. This
Right.
does work better, or this does save us some money. Let's do it that way versus my way or no way. It's not you don't listen, or I can't get through to you, or you just don't want to do what I want to do. And a lot of times it's not about that. It's about I'm a little more knowledgeable than you, or I've been through this before. It's an experience thing. I know how this is gonna go. If you listen, then sometimes you can understand. But if you're always just listening to respond, it turns into a battle of the wits. And nobody
Right.
wants to keep going back and forth about things that really just require communication.
So I'm gonna go back on what you said because here's what I found when you were talking about this power struggle. What I have found is that anytime the power struggle is the struggle over my autonomy, there's always a problem. As long as the power struggle is not about that, because the reality is, what are we power struggling for? We've agreed to be together. We're supposed to
Mhm.
have one unified power. What are you talking about? And so what I found is that is people trying to overthrow my autonomy. I know I'm a certain age. I know how to function alone, and sometimes what I say is just what the hell I say. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to give you an explanation. I don't want to answer no questions. I'm not gonna answer any questions because that's just what it is. Okay, I needed to go to the school. Where you been? I went to the store. Oh, you didn't go to the store? I'm not doing that. So that's what I'm saying. So a lot of the times, this thing that's a power struggle is really just people attempting to usurp other people's autonomy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're not communicating. Hey, I gotta run an errand. Okay, great, babe. I'll see you in your bag. When it's more than just the errand, when it's attempt to control my response, attempt to control what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and all that, that is attempting to control my autonomy, and that is a different power struggle that I'm never going to submit to. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm never going to give up my brain power. I'm never going to give up my power of myself, of my own brain, my own mind. And that's why we have a meeting of the minds. We can always talk. We can always communicate. You can tell me how whatever made you feel. We can discuss it. I may agree with you. I may stand firm 10 toes. Say, well, you know what? I'm sorry that you felt. I'm a cancer. Of course, I'm going to tell you that I'm sorry that you felt that way about what I said because I meant what I said. So, but at the end of the day, I'm never going to secede my autonomy to any man on this planet, not even Curtis James Jackson the third. You hear me? Baby, that's never gonna happen. You hear me? Never gonna
That's
happen. You
natural.
hear me?
You
Never
shouldn't
gonna
have to
happen.
give up your individuality to be in a relationship. You should still be able to be who you are, have your own opinion, your own mind, your own beliefs, and you should still be able to
And
be with
activity.
someone, and y'all don't have to be brain twins in order to exist. Like sometimes we're not going to agree, but the thing is to disagree respectfully. When it turns into a shouting match or, like I said, a battle of the wits, that's when it gets uncomfortable, and you're like, are we compatible? Like, is this what we're supposed to be doing? Like, if you can't even listen to me and hear me out, why should I submit to you? You don't even take my opinion into account. It
Right. And
makes
then
a
I don't
person
want to live in a
feel less
box
than.
either. I don't want to be in a box or dead already living just because I'm with you. I don't want to be boxed in. I can't talk to nobody. I can't talk to my friends. Everything I do is like, no, 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 no. That is again breaching the autonomy because I'm going to encourage you to meet with your friends. And that goes back into the if you know 5 millionaires, you're able to six. A lot of times as women, we stop being successful and we stop thriving because we stop outreaching and communicating with and networking with the other women that we did go to college with and did work different jobs with. And so when we have that different withdrawal, there's a sort of atrophy in our social circle. And whereas it's not as wide as it should be, it's not as fulfilled as it should be. So then later on in life, when things are not working out or things change because someone has passed away, you find yourself reaching out back now to these people who haven't spoken to you in 30 years because you put yourself in the house in the box because you was married to this man. All he did was put his
Yeah.
kids in you, they didn't give you a name, change a name, like, and you act like you can't live on the planet with nobody else. Stop doing that, sister. You have to continue to be a whole person. And when you do that, you fractionalize yourself and you are no longer a whole person. What you do is you replace the pieces of yourself with motherhood. And then when your child is 17, 18, and grown, now you have emptiness syndrome and you don't know yourself. And it's like, oh my God, who am I? But you have an existential crisis because you stop being yourself. You stop performing your selfly duties, your self-care, even care for yourself. You know, women don't even go to the doctor like they should when they have families because they're so busy taking care of and mothering everyone else that they don't self care. That's why I'm always preaching on self care, by the way.
Right. And you shouldn't neglect your own well-being or your relationships outside of your relationship just to make someone else comfortable, because a lot of times when people are trying to control you, what they like to do is isolate you. And with
Right.
isolation comes resentment, because after a while, like she said, I mean, you start realizing, like, dang, like, I don't have anybody but you now. Like, and then when things start going awry, it's like you let all your valuable relationships go for this relationship.
Right.
And now you need a listening ear or just a comforter, somebody just to vent to, and you have nobody because you let them all go to be in this relationship. And
And I
after
don't
a
want to be your
while,
all.
you resent them because you're like, I gave up everything for you. And then
Right.
of course you're gonna always have a person that says,
Right.
I didn't ask you to do that,
Right. And
but you
I
didn't
don't want to
stop
be
me
anybody's
either.
all because that's psychotic. It's psychotic for you to focus all of your time on me. You need to be building. You need two or three jobs. Like you shouldn't be focusing that much time on me. You should be busy sometimes. You should have things to do. You should have money that you're making, plans that you're facilitating and making sure that they manifest. Like I don't want any man sitting up 16 hours a day worried about what I'm doing. Focus on me, brother. Where's your money? Where are your coins?
At least be building your skills.
I'm something it's something to enrich yourself or your life or our lives, and that goes back to what I was saying. Like I found that the most successful married black couples that I've met are ones where the man was not whorish and was the provider, or where both of them were college graduates and were successful in their field, so they were fulfilled monetarily, professionally fulfilled, and so they were successful and they were committed to each other. In both situations, the couples, and there were multiple couples, but the couples were dedicated and committed to each other. So it was not a I'm gonna bring this chick home, but I'm gonna go out there and whore around in the streets. It was always I'm going to bring this chick home to you because I love you and I'm going to be committed to you forever. It was never, I'm going to go to work and find somebody more compatible than this. It was, hey, baby, I'm going to get this degree. And then, boom, baby, you get this degree. And then, boom, baby, you get this degree. And then, boom, I'm going to get this degree. And we're going to work together. Those were the most successful relationships that I saw.
Right. And don't ever think that just because you're paying bills, that gives you room to disrespect me. A lot of men feel like if they're paying all the bills, if they're doing what they're supposed to do financially, then they don't have to do anything emotionally. All of these things are tied together. You cannot fulfill me financially but neglect me emotionally and expect me to feel safe in the situation. Yes, my bills are paid. Yes, I have what I need, but can I come to you and talk to you when I need to talk to you? If I have a question that requires an outside opinion and I need some guidance, are you able to give me the correct information and lead me in the right direction and not astray? These are all things that make me feel comfortable with submitting to you.
Right. And are you even interested enough in my life to attempt to help me fulfill my dream? Or are you just gonna try to downplay my dream and try to discourage me from doing whatever I'm doing, or always have some negative input on what I'm doing, or always speak negatively into my life? I found that people who encourage each other, these older couples that I was talking about, they always encourage each other. Well, baby, you can do it. Well, baby, you got it. Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can do anything. There was always that loving air in the mix, even during the interview process. You know what I'm saying? Even during the interview process, one of the older couples, he had spilled something on his, some water down his cheek, and before he could even get it himself, she had already got it. She's like, you my handsome, I'm gonna keep you. You know what I'm saying? And the vice versa. He was looking at what she had on, and he fixed her blouse and was grooming her, and I just love the intentional dual effort and commitment. You know what I'm saying? I think that is one thing that we have to make sure that we add. It's not intentional. And I tell anybody when people go out and cheat, they are, and I tell this to women that are having a hard time getting over breakups, because there's some things that I self-love on myself, but it's one thing that you have to realize when people go out and cheat, and this is man or woman, this is a grown adult individual. Nobody is conning them into cheating. Nobody is tricking them into coming to some building and taking off their clothes and laying down naked. These are things that they are planning and intending to do. That's why they're changing their behavior. That's why they speak a certain way on the phone. That's why their patterns change. And they go to this place to do what they're doing in this room or wherever they are, these people, because that is their intention. And once you realize that that is someone's intention, go ahead and free yourself then. Don't wait. Don't try to fix it. Respect yourself enough to honor yourself and not deal with somebody that dishonors you. Because what I found is that um, when we have these relationships and we talk about commitment, there's a commitment, but it's not. Unconditional. But my love very much has conditions. I am not a ride or die. I am a ride or get the hell out of my car. I'm a
Mhm.
ride or you will walk. We're gonna ride in peace or you're gonna walk because I'm not gonna have turmoil on my journey. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a ride or die. I'm not gonna be able to joke you. Please don't go to jail. Please. I promise to God, I can't joke you. I can't write you any letters. I have some letters with me. I can't write you no letters. My attention span ain't even in line. I promise you're gonna stop existing if you go. Don't go
The
to jail.
judge broke us
You know what
up.
I'm saying? I can't joke you. You know what I'm saying? So my love is not without conditions. And I think this false narrative of unconditional love of I will take all this abuse to prove that I love you is a falsity because I'm definitely teaching my sons not to let any girls hit on them and what to be as a young man, when a woman has cycles, what to do, how to buy her stuff, how to treat her, how her body and hormones are changing. So I'm equipping them to make someone a very good husband one day. But I'm also not raising them to be anyone's emotional pinata. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we just have to come together with this intention thing and recognize when people have malicious intent for us. Somebody cheating on you multiple times when they don't have good intentions for you. You know what I'm saying? It's hard when you think about it at first. You're like, oh, I want to try to salvage this. Oh, I want to save it. You know what I'm saying? But when we were talking about hyper independence earlier, we were talking about submission, right? One of the things that I learned, or that we would talk about when I was researching the subject, it was with hyper independence. Most of the time, when you look at it theoretically, they say it's a childhood trauma issue. But I'm going to take it a step further and say that it is a it's a learned relationship pattern, whereas not only in childhood did someone learn that they couldn't trust anyone, but in adolescence, in teenage years, in early adulthood, there was never anyone consistently there for them. They were perpetually failed in life by the people that were around them and in their lives, and their needs were never met by negligence or ignorance. You know what I'm saying? The needs were never met. And so they've developed this position where, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it. Something comes up, boom. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'll find a resource. I'll get it. And I just think that that hyper independence, also when you're in a relationship, if you're with someone, you shouldn't have to be hyper independent. And so once that happens, that is also your ticket and your clue to go ahead and leave. I mean, you have men and women out here who are in situations where, well, I'm already doing all this by myself, and your attitude is bad, and you're disrespectful. Like, I got it. And you have these women out here with multiple children. They're doing everything. The husband just feel like he's supposed to just go to work and that's it. But if she work a full-time job, if she does some stuff, she still have to come home and perform housely duties. And it's like, at one point, do we appreciate sisters enough, melanated women enough to not try to put the whole burden of life on their back? We see these different podcast, and they always have something to say about the melanated woman, what she should be and who she should be. But one thing she is everybody's damn scapegoat. Everybody's on her back. Who is not on the melanated woman's back? And it's just sad, because when you look at things throughout history, they tell you about Sojourner Truth. But if we're gonna put the fat to the fire, they cannot tell you about one successful rebellion that was had, where the brothers led us to victory and eliminated the oppressor. You always hear stories about women sojourning and making a way and doing this thing. And let's be very clear, it wasn't all women. That Underground Railroad had women and men and this, that, and third. But what I'm saying is, for the propaganda of it all, you hear about Nat Turner and they ate him. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere in history where there was supposed to be a male messiah, they have castrated, killed, maimed, murdered, eaten the fellow. So my question is, in light of all these things, the melanated woman has done a terrific job in holding up. um, her children that were abandoned when the book was broken. You know what I'm saying? Her children that were left when her husband was sold off. Her children that she had to take care of when she was, what I'm saying, sexually assaulted by her slave master. Uh, the children that she was left to care for once the people came over here on the land and started just murdering us after we showed them nothing but love and kindness. We have done a lot. You know what I'm saying? When we took the women from the caves of the Caucasus Mountain and we opened up our homes to them and we taught them to bath and to walk up straight, you know what I'm saying? And still today, every beauty standard that we set is copied and it's first it's mocked and then it's mimicked and copied.
Mhm.
And then we're told that imitation is the best form of flattery. No, maintaining my autonomy is the best form of flattery for me. Be yourself. Enjoy your paper thin lips. You know what I'm saying? You got them. You were born with them. Enjoy them paper thin lips. But to mock my beauty and then turn around and attempt to wear it
Right,
as a mask of glory, I just think is the most egregious atrocity,
right.
around.
And to piggyback off the hyper independence topic, like a lot of women are hyper independent because of pattern recognition. They grew up in homes where they had to be the mama while the mama was at work, or they grew up in homes where they saw struggle and they decided for themselves at an early age that they would never put their children in situations like that and they would never be in
Right.
situations like themselves, so they went above and beyond to make sure that they never had to experience what they experienced. And then when you get in a relationship and you start seeing these same irresponsible patterns, you start kind of creating a defense mechanism. It's like I see the same patterns that I saw growing up, the utilities being cut off, the
Right.
the mother having to work while the father is in the streets or in jail, and the children having to be more responsible than they should have to be at their age. And you're like, no, I cannot let this person lead me. I have to be the higher up in this situation because they don't have the capabilities to get us where we're trying to get. And a lot of men take that as you're trying to overpower them or control them, but it's just childhood trauma because you don't want that same situation for your seeds.
Well, I think it's that, and then to piggyback off that is this: we have not had any courtship classes or anything, so we don't understand the concept of date 'em all and marry the best one, may the best man win. Date 'em all does not mean have sex with them all. But now here
Right.
we are in 2026, where people think, oh, because we go on a date, I buy you food, we're gonna have sex. No, you're gonna eat anyway. We're gonna sit down and talk and communicate. If we can't do anything without having sex, we don't need to do it because I promise you, sex is not gonna last you that long in this life. By the time you're 60, 65, your sex
Speak
life
for
will have
yourself.
diminished. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, no, just being real. Your sex life will have diminished. Most of these men, most women have to get a younger partner because most of these men have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and their
Oh,
phalluses don't work anymore.
erectile dysfunction.
This, yes, and diabetes. And so let's just be very clear. I'm not being mad. I'm not male bashing. We're talking about poor health care in our community. That's another side effect of not self-caring on yourself. So this poor health is leading to people's needs not being met. Even hormonal. I know some women who have hormonal change right now. They don't want to have sex. I know women like I myself. I have financial issues. If I have money issues, I don't want to have sex. I don't want a wet butt and a dry pocketbook. I don't want that. I don't want to be looking
Amen.
for someone to say, and then you want to lay down with me, baby. I got stuff on my mind. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's how my mind works. I'm very sapio sexual. So, for the most part, we have to just learn how to court each other again. And then for us, we have to stop letting people in so early. Be able to court them. That's the whole point of the courtship. You need to learn this man before you move this man in your house, before
Right.
you move
And
him
you
with
need to
him.
know their financial.
Yes, and their
education
demeanor,
level.
their behavior, their temperament. Is this a fucking 5-year-old that you got that's gonna throw a tantrum every time you say no? Or is this a grown, mature man who can control himself? Like there are so many elements to it, and I just think that we should be more wise when we get together because when you get with people, you are mating and breeding with people and introducing new life into the diaspora, to the world, and so that you are mixing your genes with people, and so be careful who you mixing your genes with. Let's be clear. Um, we coming up in a time now where we had a drug epidemic to sweep through our community. So half the time y'all be really dealing with low key crack babies. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why the cognitive
Mm.
ability isn't there, the functioning ain't there, the societal norms are not present. Cause it's a fucking crack baby. Like she's a crack baby. Why are you thinking she could be normal? She's never gonna settle
Oh
down
my
with you,
God.
sir. She's a crack baby, and I'm just being real. And they be passing these kids off right now like they normal. They not. This 2026 crack epidemic hit us in the 80s. That means these
So,
crack babies are like 40 years old now.
so is that a question you should be asking? Now dating,
Yes,
was your
when you
mother
dating
a
these
drug
people.
user? Was your
Yes,
mother
did your
a
mother abuse
crackhead?
crack? Hey, play that dog priest, cause I promise you, when he say born in the 80s crack baby, I don't say that shit. I don't never say that shit, cause my mom was a crackhead. I never say born in the 80s crack baby. I don't never say that. I say the whole rest of the time, but I never say that part, because
Well,
the
that's a
mom was a
whole different
crackhead.
subject.
But I'm just saying, when you're dating people, you need to know. Ask these people their educational background. Have these people read to you. Like, stop playing.
Oh no. But that's
Nah,
real
friend, I'm
though, because you'll
serious.
be
For real.
amazed what you can find out
Look,
about people.
look. And then you want people to submit to you and you can't even read the damn instructions. You know what I'm saying? Come on, friend. I'm being real. We talking about real life here. There are so many women that we know they're dumb down in dating. Or they be like, well, I'll go and talk to him. Or they settle in dating. And then once they settle, this fool ain't even who he's supposed to be or claim or purport to be. You know, it's a fraud. You perpetuate a fraud when you come to someone like you or have accomplished certain things in your life and you have not. You a con man. You a
Hey,
con man coming to this woman like, am I lying, friend? Think about it. This
that's
man coming
definitely
to
a
you.
reality for some people. I'm real thorough in my questions when
Yeah,
dating because I learned from prior situations that if you don't ask, you won't know. And if you just assume, you're really setting yourself up because if you just assume things about people, you know what they say about that. You're gonna make an ass out of yourself. Ask the important
right,
question. What are your views on raising
right.
children? What are your views on finances? What are
What is
your
your
views?
educational background? What is your
Everything. You
views
need to
on
know
higher
all of these
education?
things before you start combining resources and trying to
And
build with
DNA,
someone
shit,
before
and
you put
DNA,
yourself in
resources
a
and
hole
DNA.
that you can't get out
Yeah.
of.
Oh yeah.
And we
Because
need to
because their
take a
ideals.
quick break,
Well, take a break.
but we'll pick back up when we return to Fabulous Frequency Podcast.
Fabulous.
Got a man that's taking care of you
For real,
100%.
yeah.
Are you down to follow his lead without question?
What is a man
Hell
who's doing
no.
everything? What does that look like?
He's paying all your bills. He's making sure that you secure.
If we're speaking from my standpoint, or we're speaking from me, then yes, I would follow a man's lead. But I'm also going to say, though, even though you are a person who gives someone security and everything else, does not mean that you still qualify to be a leader. And the reason why, and I'm only going to say this.
When you devalue leadership to just provision, I can pay bills, I can do this, that, and the other, that's not true leadership. Sometimes that safety she's looking for is not physical, it's emotional. Sometimes it's reaching deep into her mind and understanding her and listening to her and being a servant inside your relationship.
There's a lot of y'all out there, women, respectfully, that your inability to see that man as a good leader is due to your unresolved trauma for the other man who could not lead you.
Rewind!
So, a lot of y'all have either seen your own fathers fail, you've seen men that you've been with before fail, and you don't trust any man to lead. So no matter how strong his resume is, you will find something to question. And you got to be real with yourself when the issue is within you and not what this man is or isn't doing.
Yeah, yeah. But when you say without question, that sounds like an employer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a boss. When you say without question, I think
Warden.
in healthy spaces, questions should be, it's welcomed. It's not even like, it's like you are allowed to voice your concern because I care about your consultation. I care about your counsel. I want to hear your opinion. I don't want you to without question me, because if I'm stepping in the wrong direction, I need you, my partner, to tell me. I'm not going to pick a woman with whom's counsel I don't trust.
Right on, brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Spoke a word. Welcome back to Fabulous Frequency Podcast. We
Hi.
are on the subject of to submit or not to submit. And if you're just tuning in, you're going to have to go back and play this back because we have really got pretty deep with this. So, where were we?
Girl, talking about this stuff. I gotta jog my little memory for a minute, but we were discussing the relationships and then people being able to be led and then people being able, so like for instance being able to communicate, like he was just saying, the brother was like, I want a woman not to lead. And now the first thing that you saw that brother say was, oh well, you saw the men. Now this is what I mean when I say men will gaslight women, and that's gonna take way to that Nick Cannon clip. He said, "Oh, she saw other men fail." You are openly admitting that the other men fail, first of all. Second of all, he's like, "Well, and now she doesn't trust any man." That's pattern recognition and protection. So if you come in moving like someone who has failed, moving like a failure, basically, or you're moving with behaviors that I see and they're triggering me because I'm noticing you can't keep utilities on, like we were saying, you can't keep a job. You're it's not it's not a begrudge against you, baby. You're showing and exhibiting that you lack leadership skills.
Right. Now, you have no sustainable skills. You have no type of real knowledge about what it takes to even maintain or elevate a household. Like, why would I listen to you? Like, I would do better off going to speak to my children than to listen to a man who does not know how to lead and then does not even have the sense enough to admit it and take some guidance from a woman who may have more experience than you, or just may have been out in the world longer than you and just may have some things that they learned that you didn't get to learn. Maybe you were a baby boy. Maybe you stayed with your mom for a
Ooh,
long time
ooh,
and you didn't really
ooh.
get those real world experiences. And that's totally fine. Sometimes you get a woman that's been on her own longer than you. Maybe she had kids at an early age and she's more knowledgeable about managing a household than you are. There's nothing
So
wrong with that because wherever lacks, that's where you're supposed to come in and vice
suppose,
versa.
yes,
And that
yes.
what makes a relationship. You're not gonna always be strong in every area, but you have to be strong enough to admit this is not my strong point.
Ooh,
You can handle that area and I'll handle this, and then we'll meet in the middle, and then we have everything taken care of because you're not trying to do everything. I'm not trying to do everything. I'm not exhausted. You're not exhausted, and we have the energy to put into this relationship and actually be happy, at peace. We're not always bumping
ooh.
heads, and
So
it's
let me
not
let me chime in with
always
you on that because
friction.
watch this. So now even what you're talking about the friction. So I agree with that. So let's go back to that baby boy thing you were talking about, and let's look at this for instance. What I have found is the majority of the men who complain about women being gold diggers and women not submitting, or men with no gold and no leadership skills. And the majority of the time, they want to come lead you in your shit. Like they want to come, they want to come be together with you in your shit. They can't leave themselves
They
out
want
of
to
the way.
run your shit.
Right, they can't establish themselves, but they want to come to your house and be the authoritarian over you and your shit. But they can't. And everything with these same people is ours. When you get some shit, it's ours. But when they get something, it's theirs. No, 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 no. So we have to stop. There are some settling ladies that we can't do. There are some settling that we cannot do. I know for myself, one of my rules going forward is, that brother gotta have what I have. He gotta match me. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's just with anything, with anything, period. You got to match me. So many times in life we get with people and settle and be like, well, it'll be all right, it'll be better, it'll be this. No, you know what I'm saying? It's, yeah, sometimes people start over. Everybody starts over. Hell, I just had to start over. But at the end of the day, it's about resilience and it's about your willingness to get up and try again in the fight that's in you. So I can't foresee a baby boy, not one more baby boy situation in my life. I can't see me. That's like Santa Claus. You know, I never told the boys about Santa Claus. I would always tell them me because I would never give anyone from the Caucasus Mountains credit for my work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna work 2, 3 jobs and go bust it down and get these things for you that you want so bad and then give somebody else credit. No, mama bought you that. Ain't no Santa Claus, it's mama and grandma. And so I've never been the type to um, acquiesce my credit, nor have I been the type to steal credit. But so I'm not going to bow down so that you can feel more of a man with my shit. Like, no, no,
Right.
no, no. Like, I,
Like either you're the man or you're not
yeah,
the man. You can't expect me to let you be the man. Either
yeah.
you're the
What the hell is
man
that shit?
or you're not the man. I shouldn't have to belittle myself and make myself small for you to feel important. You should have that your presence alone should make me feel like this man can lead me. I can trust his
Right,
word. I can take his word at face value. What his actions are matching what he's saying. He's not just saying things, he's actually making these things happen.
right.
And if
Performing
I
behavior that
lack
make me
or if
know
I
he's
fall
serious.
off, he has my back.
Right, right.
It's not always on my back. When
Oh
you
my God, because
start
that's
carrying
exhausting,
everything on
isn't
your
it?
own,
Oh my
it makes you
gosh.
want to leave the situation because it's like, what am I gaining by having you in my life? If I still have to do everything by myself, then I'll just be by myself.
Yes, yes.
And a lot of
Look,
people, men, don't understand that. Like, if you
look,
already have children, especially, why would I want another child? That's like having
look,
another child. You might as well call me mommy.
look. I'm trying to tell you, you cooking with some grease right now. You oh, no, no, seriously, you cooking with grease because so many times, and then it's like the person just expect you really expect to not do shit.
For
Like you
real.
really
Somebody
expect
on
to
my
not be an
taxes.
adult. I mean, and if I do, you ain't gonna get no money. I'm just saying, you ain't get no
I
money.
mean, why not? You're getting your money back. I'm pretty much invested in you. I need a return.
Look, I'm at this point where you better not need too much from me. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't want. I'm gonna tell you something. If you a man, you know what I'm saying. Don't ask me for shit. If you ask me for the time, I'm gonna think you a bum because you got a phone. You should know what time it is.
Damn.
Don't ask me nothing.
And you know what? You know what else we do? We got to stop doing as women. We have got to stop falling in love with potential and accept people for where they
Ooh,
really are in
girl.
life. You can't expect, okay, well, one day he'll be like this, or one day he'll do this. If you get in a
Yes,
situation with
no,
that
girl.
man and he doesn't have that mindset to begin with, it is not your responsibility to educate him and build him up.
Yes,
Because a lot of times what happens is you build these men up for someone else. Because they'll
yes,
always remember when I came into this situation, I had nothing, I knew nothing. And this woman will always remember that. But someone new, I can be somebody else. I can be
right.
that man
And that man will
that
always
she
take
thought I
whatever you build
was.
with him and go give it to another woman. And also make sure he's emotionally available too. I used to be in love with somebody, girl, and I had to realize this man is not emotionally available. You know what I'm saying? Broke my heart. Just a sweet little thing. Just love him so much, but this man is not emotionally available. You know what I'm saying? He is not emotional. He does not have the emotional bandwidth to be able to love me the manner that I need to be loved, that I deserve to be loved, and that I'm not gonna settle for anything less than. So, I had to step away from it. You better recognize it because even right now to this day, I can tell you right now, that man is just as emotionally unavailable today as he
Damn.
was then. It did not change, and I'm so glad that I'm no longer in that position where I'm waiting for him to see how wonderful I am, or waiting for him to see how much I love him, or waiting the fuck that.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I'm not
Because
waiting
you've
for you to
wasted
see
so many
anything.
years of your life doing it. Like, you just
Yes,
keep hoping
girl.
and wishing and praying that one day maybe some of what
Maybe
I
he'll
have will
see
rub
me.
off on this person. And
No.
before you know it, you're 10, 15 years in and you're an old hag and Everybody that was capable of giving you what you needed has moved on and married themselves, and now you're stuck with the bottom of the barrel or being by yourself with 10, 15 cats. So, ladies, stop trying to paint these men to be someone else and accept them for exactly who the hell they are, and avoid wasting years of your life with someone who will never be able to give you what you need.
Hold up. And let me tie into that right there. Even with the cat thing, do you know why girls like to go out to eat with each other? One, we decompress. We talk about our life, everything that happened. We dump all over each other because a lot of times that is the only safe place that we have where we're not judged and we're not mistreated for having a brain. Two, we're gonna eat, we're gonna drink, we'll have a good time. Somebody's gonna pay. You know what I'm saying? We might go Dutch, but one of us might pay one of them. Somebody gonna pay, and then we're gonna leave. And guess what? There's no expectation of sex. There's no pressure for sex. No, everybody can leave their drawers on when they get home and go about their way, and we still have our self-respect when we go home. You know, that is the joy of women dining together. This is why women are picking women, because when you go out, you're gonna get emotional solitude. You're gonna get some type of intelligence exchange, or you're gonna talk about something that stimulates your mind. They're gonna talk about some of their future plans, even if they do a little emotional baggage. We got to get rid of some baggage, but we're gonna do things to encourage and build each other. And so many times in our relationships, we do not have that safe space. We do not have a man that's like, baby, how was your day? What do you want to do? What's your dream? How can we build your dream? What are we gonna do this with it? Most of the time, we have men that compete with us, like they fucking
Damn.
got a bigger clip than us. You know what I'm saying? Like real still. And so it's so we need someone who has the emotional intelligence to say, damn, she had a hard day today. I wonder what she do. It's not always about you. And I'm saying for your partner to go to work,
Man,
I'm saying something, this is abuse. It's abuse for your partner to have to go to work all day and then come home and do all the other work, and then you just cop out and say, "Oh, I went to work today. That's it." Meanwhile, I gotta do this, I gotta do band practice, I gotta do this, and this is what this the two individuals trying to co-parent in the house, whether or not the kids are there or not. We not even talking about the deadbeat that's absent. We talking about the
mm,
two people that's trying to work together. That is emotionally draining. I've had a lot of shit on me
very,
today, sir. I had to get up on time. I had to get the kids together. I had to go to work. I had to do this. I had to do this. And then it's like the moment that a man has to do a fraction of the things that we have to do, they want a trophy or an award, or it's, well, I did this. Well, shit, I do it all the time. What's the fucking big deal? I do it all the time. So great, you did it today. Congratulations. Would you like a cookie, sir?
would you
And
like a slow
so,
clap?
yeah, congratulations, sir, for you and your
Right, right. You don't
many
get extra
attempts at.
accolades for being a damn adult. I mean,
Right,
there has to be
right.
some type of equality there. I mean, peace is, you always seeing people online and in life saying, be that man's peace. We deserve peace too. Why is it always the one-way street? Why does only the man deserve peace? We
I'm not
all
gonna be your
deserve
peace.
peace.
I'm not gonna be your piece. I'm speaking right now to everybody in Radio Land and Facebook. I am not gonna be your piece. You know why, man? Because that is a you job. That is a self-esteem you inside job. I can't be your piece, homeboy.
Right. I
That got
won't
to do
take it
with
away
your
from you,
mind
but I can't give
and
it to
your
you
thoughts.
either.
Right, right. I'm not gonna instigate arguments, but that war in between your ears, that's for you. I'm not that piece that Now I may try to ease your mind. I may try to give you tidbits of wisdom. I may try, but I'm not gonna be your piece. And what about be your piece is I'm not gonna acquiesce to some type of crap or pressure or authoritarian bull crap that you want to put on me to make you feel better about the world beating you down. Don't go get beat down by master at work and come home and want to beat me down so you can feel better. No, I will punch you in your eye. We will be
Damn.
matching. You will go to jail. We will be matching together, and I'm definitely gonna let them know you hit me first. But I'm saying no. Learn to decompress your own stuff. We talk to good homegirls, so we come home from work, so we don't bring home to you. But this whole thing about I have to mistreat my woman, or I have to degrade her, or she has to be less than, or I have to make her feel bad so that I can feel like a man. You guys got to stop doing that because there are a lot of women out here who contemplate every day never coming back home to your ass. If
Damn.
you didn't know it before, I'm gonna tell you, it's every day. If you're not living like you should as a man, and nobody's gonna tell you this, brothers, I'm gonna tell you today. If you are not doing what you know when you being a dick, you know when you stepping
Mm.
out on your woman, you know when you being a narcissist, you trying to make her think she crazy, you trying to gaslight her, and you know when you fucking up, every day you not only make her think about leaving you, but you give her the reasons. And every day, baby, I promise you, she's checking that box every day. Every day she's checking the box every day, and one day. When you get home and her shit is not there, and all you have is the smell of her perfume and lingering in the air, just know that she did all she could to stay with you, and she just couldn't take no more. And all the behaviors that she asked you to change, that she wanted to talk about, all the things that she said when she thought she was disrespectful of her, when she wanted to work it out with stuff, all those times she just wanted to talk about it. Remember all those times when you wanted to be an asshole, when you wanted to be the authoritarian, when you wanted to
Mm.
be the leader. So remember those times when you're sitting there by yourself. Like I said the
Woo.
other day on Facebook, it's too cold to get put out. You know what I'm saying? It's too cold to get put
Oh,
out.
way too cold. So, right. Yeah, I feel everything you're saying. Like men, women, take accountability for your own actions. You're not always
Yes,
right.
men and
He's not
women.
always right. But as
Right.
partners, you should be able to express yourself freely without being called a complainer or a nagger or being told that you're disturbing their peace. There should be enough respect in a relationship where that person can hear you out and then make the necessary adjustments so that your relationship can grow to the next level.
Right. If your level of disrespect for me doesn't have a limit, then my level of advocation for myself shouldn't have a limit. Mm.
Correct. Disrespect is never okay on any end. You
Yeah. It's a
cannot
this
you
a deal
cannot
breaker.
disrespect a man and expect him to want to provide for you and
Right.
provide you with security and want to come home. And you can't disrespect a woman and expect her to want to cater to you and talk to you like a king
Yes.
and take care of your children and make sure that
Yeah.
you eat every day or even still care for you when you're talking to her like a slave.
Yes. Girl, I do the subtraction method. I start off doing everything at first. When you meet me, I like to cook. I cook, I clean, I make you stuff, I make you cookies, I make you cakes, I make you all kind of cakes and goodies. And then when you start fucking up, I stop doing stuff. And so
You
then,
start
like
taking
when
them
we get to the
privileges
point,
back.
no, baby, those are all privileges. And what happens is
And let me
people
show
will
you
say,
something.
"Oh, she don't cook, she don't do it no more." Shit, I don't do that shit no more. I don't do free labor and wifely things for people that don't. You know what I'm saying? No, I
Appreciate the
don't do
shit.
those things anymore. Yeah, and I've been a wife. I've done those things, and so I have some authority to speak. But there are some people who have not been husbands that's telling y'all what to do with these women, and y'all need to stop listening. There are some people out here that were bad, poor husbands, and they on a podcast, they got a microphone, and they tell them, I'm taking on do it. I have friend girls, like I said, I've told you, hey man, you spend too much money. Hey man, you wrong. Hey man, get out that man back. Hey man, get that dude the break. He doing what he's supposed to do. I advocate for both parties because I advocate for right. But I'm also gonna tell you, hey, this is the point where you need to stop telling him your moves because clearly you moving for y'all and he moving for him. Like I'm
Mm,
gonna advocate for you to stop because once I see that your cup is empty, sister, hey baby, your cup is empty. I know who's pouring into you besides me. You pouring out to 13, 15 people, but only me is pouring into you, friend. No, 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 no. Stop pouring out your cup. Of course, I'm going to encourage her to stop pouring out of a cup. You're going to deplete my friend. You're going to leave her with nothing. She won't have anything for her children. She won't have anything for herself. Yes, I'm going to tell her to leave you and to stop pouring into your cup. What is wrong with you? And so, if you
mm.
love her, her cup should never be empty and should
Right.
always be filled. You know,
And we
something
should
about somebody
always be
other than
striving
you.
to fill each other. It's not one.
Yes,
My cup can't be sitting over
yes.
here empty and your cup over there full, and you expect it to be a peaceful union. And when we say
Nah,
submit, we're not talking about now. Don't get me wrong. When you're in a relationship, of course, it's like an audition to a marriage, but you submit to your husband. You don't
right,
submit to boyfriends. Now, I will show
right.
you that I'm capable of submitting, but until you take on the responsibility of being my husband and providing me with security and giving me a level of commitment that makes me feel safe, I don't have to commit to you. That is a choice. I choose to submit to you. I choose to be respectful. I choose to talk to you in a way that lets you know that I respect you. These are
Right.
all choices, just like it's a choice for you to do what you have to do as a man so that you can get these things freely.
I'm gonna say this:
We-
stop giving people more than a year of your time to date seriously. If you're really serious about, and this is why I'm gonna say this: every day, people get up and go to the Justice of the Peace. They go to Vegas. They go on a whim. They go get married every day, and they make it, and they have lifelong, what I'm saying, committed relationships. That wedding ceremony, that wedding ceremony is your professional love before God and your family to each other. But that wedding ceremony That certificate of marriage is going to be between you and that man. That contract is between you and the man and the state. Let's be clear, and the state and its agents, but it's between you and that man. A lot of times, these people just want to get married for the wedding. They don't want the marriage. The men don't want to be
Correct.
husbands, and the women don't want to be wives. And I just think at this point, if you're seriously dating someone, that's not going to take more than a year. Let's be clear. Why are you wasting this woman's time? Why
Woo.
because you are intentionally attempting to usurp and use up all of her youth. Them men know already when they want to marry you. That's why they haul off and haul you to the justice of the peace. It's only the men that want to use you until the last drop that want to dangle marriage in front of you, like, well, you can do this and then we get married. Well, you got to be like this and then we get married. You know what? I bet you don't. I bet you I go talk to one of these other five motherfuckers that want your spot, and I ain't got to wait at all to get married. So I think we got to stop letting people
Damn.
dangle and move the carrot and for us. And the literal carrot is the ring. Stop letting people dangle a carrot on you, sister. He shouldn't be stop coming. He shouldn't be coming to your house for a year and you're not married. What are you doing? You shouldn't be going to his house. Y'all shouldn't be cohabitating for a year and y'all not married or in some type of committed relationship. What are you doing? So they can
Ooh,
be
that
free to
sounds like
use
another
you.
topic.
I'm just saying, and I think we should because because in this event somebody's getting used and somebody's getting cheated on
And
always in
somebody is
this
definitely
situation.
uncertain about what they want to do and who they want to be with, and they're not being real about it.
They're not uncertain. They know damn well they don't want to be with you, and they like to operate in confusion because they don't want to be straight up with you because they want to continue to use you for everything they can get from you. See, they can't see if they do the Nick Cannon, every man can't beat Nick Cannon. Every man can't be everything you need. They have a limited capacity on that shit. So then they try to get all they can get from you until the getting is the good. Remember, takers have no limit. They don't have a limit in their taking. They want all they can get. So when you start saying no, it's a problem to anything. You know, say I tell anybody you should be able to be in a relationship and be able to go 30 days of your partner and not have sex because as a woman we have hormonal stuff. Men also have hormonal stuff, whether or not they think about it. We have work stuff, we have life stuff. Sometimes it just don't be getting it. But I don't owe you some coochie I got for my birthday for
Oh
no
my
reason.
God.
There's no reason why you should think that you're entitled to a body part of mine that I got before my birthday. Same thing with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? So we have to stop these false expectations and stop this ownership culture of each other. You know, stop trying to remove each other's autonomy from them. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that because we need to get past sex. A lot of times we be in fucked up situations because we be lustful and can't stop fucking on somebody that we need to not be fucking on. We can't stop dealing with them. We can't stop nothing with them because we still intermingling spirits and having sex with them. Stop fucking on that person. And now what do you have in common? Now what are your
Damn.
goals? You know what I'm saying? Now, what are your goals? Now, what is your projected trajectory? Because look at this. You know, you see the women say, I ain't having sex. You know what I'm saying? They get in the ring. You see, Venus married her a millionaire, and so did Serena. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't melanated either. So I'm just saying, we need to come up with some new things to stop doing some things. Maybe not be so wretched. I don't know, I'm not sure, but stop. Definitely stop fucking everybody. The STD rate is high. You do not have to have sex with everybody that you
Not
date.
everybody.
I repeat, do not have. Matter of fact, I'm not telling you you don't have to do. This is the instruction. Do not have sex with everyone that you date. Everybody you meet should meet like just like everybody you meet don't need to meet the inside of your walls of your house. Sisters, ladies, every man you meet shouldn't meet your four walls inside your body either.
Or your
Stop it.
kids.
Yeah, and stop letting these dudes beat your kids because I'm telling you the players now they want to get close to your kids. Oh, I love little Johnny. Woo, woo. No, he don't. He want you, little Johnny, to get close to you. He don't little Johnny as a kid. And I'm telling you something. When your kids start looking at this dude crazy, because I'm telling you something. If the dude was doing right, your kid would look at this dude crazy. Your dude is looking at this dude crazy because your kid came out of you. Your kid knows how to play you. Your kid is watching this dude play you, and your kid is like, yeah, this sucker's a joke.
And they
I,
recognize and realize
yeah,
more than you know. They see a lot of times when you're blinded by love, the kids see the play. They know what's going on. They just want you to be happy, and they sit
yeah,
there
live
and
in
try
lust.
to act like they don't understand what's going on. But in reality, if you sit down and talk
Yeah,
to your children, they will let you know, hey, I don't think that person is for you, or hey, I don't like when they do
yeah,
that, or I don't like the way you
yeah.
you look when you're around him, or you're not the same person as you were
Right.
before you
Your
got with
moods
him.
change.
They can see the
Right.
change in you. They see when you're depressed. They see when you're snapping out and lashing out because you're upset or frustrated with your
Right. Because
relationship.
most of the time you're lashing out at them. Yeah, I go 90 days. If you have been in a relationship with someone for over 1 year and you guys are not married, and I mean like married and planning the wedding to be in the next 3 months, stop having sex. Stop having sex with each other because number one, all you're gonna do is fuck around and make another baby that you can't fucking afford. Number two, all you're gonna do is keep intermingling feelings where they don't need to be. And number three, all you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. If we ain't going nowhere, if this is not gonna be anything serious, what are we doing? Why am I continuing to give you my body, and why do you continue to want mine? Because you're a succubus. You just want to suck all my life out of me. You know what I'm saying? Through sex.
That
And I'm telling you, that's
incubus.
how they do it too. They do it through sex. They sucking the life out of you through your sex, and then you wonder why you can't think fucking straight. Stop having sex for 90 days, and what do you have? Will you even still have a relationship after that? You know what I'm saying? So that's
Hmm.
just my advice. You know
That's
what I'm
an
saying? Stop having
interesting
sex.
topic. Can you go 90 days with your mate and still be able to be together after that whole situation is over? Are you going to fade out like the sex did? Is that the only
Yeah.
thing? Is that the only glue holding your situation together? Like, I mean, there's only one way to find out. But at the same time, for me, if I have to do all of that to determine whether or not we're actually made to be together, 9 times out of 10, we're probably not. If I have to go to that extreme to figure out whether or not you're actually the one for me, then yeah, this might not be what we need
Well,
to
see,
do.
look, it's not so
We're
much as
probably
an
not
extreme
compatible.
as it is a standard. It's not so much as an extreme as it is a standard. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of the problems, you know what I'm saying, for women, that they've had in their life, it has to do with fucking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking the wrong guy too soon, fucking the right guy too soon, fucking the wrong guy unintentionally.
Right. That's why I feel
Unintentionally
like you
fucking a
should do that
guy.
in the
Sexual
beginning, not
assault, you know what
after
I'm
you've
saying?
already had sex. Give them the 90-day rule in the beginning. Don't take it away once you've already
No.
established a relationship. Give them go 90 days when you first meet
No,
and then determine whether or
no.
not they're worthy of even having
Run
sex
it
to
back.
begin with.
Run it back. We talking about people that's serious about committing. Let's be clear. Why we still fucking if you ain't even trying to marry me? So I'm just gonna fuck on you for 10 years, and as soon as you meet the next bitch, you gone, and I still gotta heal myself. And that's what I'm saying. We not taking the time. We so busy fucking that we not looking at what's happening. That's exactly my point. We so busy trying to make sure we get a nut instead of making sure we get a good relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. If you've been in a relationship with this dude 1, 2, 3 years, he still ain't committed to you. And when I say committed, I mean committed and intentionally planning a wedding. Not committed and I'm just gonna give you a ring to keep you from leaving me because I know I don't fucking want to marry you. And I'm not behaving like I want to be married. Because there's men out here they do this shit every day. It's men out here to try to trick women into marrying them. What I'm saying is stop having sex. Y'all been together 2, 3 years, 4 years. He ain't married you. You ain't married to him. Stop fucking and see what else you have going on because clearly it ain't that good. He ain't married your ass.
Hmm. Well, we can both agree on that. If you don't
You
have
know what I'm
anything
saying? I'm
outside
not
of
being
sex,
ugly.
then you don't
You know
have
what I mean?
anything.
I'm not being. Yeah, I'm
If
saying just you
sex is
know
the
what I'm
foundation of your relationship, then nine
saying?
times
Yeah,
out of ten, it will not withstand
yeah,
any
sister. That's it.
real struggle or any situations to where if you're medically incapacitated or you know what I'm saying, in a situation
Yeah,
where you can't have sex or you're out of town for work and you have to be away from this person for an extended period of time, you automatically know
right.
this person's not going to be there if sex is not involved.
Exactly, exactly. And that goes back
But
to
we're
you.
about to
Hey, we
get
gotta
ready
go
to
to
wrap
break.
up the show.
Oh,
If
goodness
you want to
gracious.
look us up on social media, you can go to our Fabulous Frequency page on Facebook. I'm also
Go
on
to it. Go
Facebook
to it.
and Instagram. Queen's
You.
Flag 29 on Instagram. Twyla Smith on Facebook, and Twala the Diva on TikTok. If you want to find me.
Right on, right on. And I'm Audrey Divine Infinity on Facebook, Divine One on Instagram, and we are Fabulous Frequency on all forms of social media. And you can always follow us there, darlings. So great talking to you this evening, love.
Right, and until then, keep it fabulous. Stay
Yes,
on the high frequency.
keep it high.
Women naturally submit when they feel safe, loved, and secure. So if she's not submissive, she does not feel safe with you. She doesn't trust that you know how to lead. She doesn't feel loved and you provide no security. Her lack of submission is a reflection of the energy she feels from you. If you care about her, you got to step up to the plate as a man and change that.
It's really worth, are you even worthy of being submitted to? Cats is like, I want someone that's gonna submit to me. Bro, what they submitting to? Some little boy stuff? Some little immature stuff? You want her to submit to you? What does that even mean, bro? Are you about to lead her? Man, my wife don't trust me. Are you trustworthy? Bro, when I quit my job to go full-time into speaking and ministry, my wife was like, I'm quitting my job too. Like, that's my biggest flex, bro. It's not how much money I make, it's how much money I made with my wife, with my queen, who was willing to sacrifice everything. So to the cast, it's like, I want to go here and I want to travel and find somebody to submit to me. Have you even submitted to the plan of God? You know what I'm saying? Have you submitted